Here are 10 books that I plan to read in 2025. Number 1 is Moby Dick. This is a World Cloud Classic edition. It's very beautiful. I think it's fox leather, like fake leather, like a blue fake leather with an amazing cover on the inside. Yeah, I'm personally a massive fan of classics, and this is one of those classics that should be on everyone's reading list if you like that if you like that style of book. So I'm very, very excited to read this. It is close to 600 pages long though, so I am kind of a little intimidated as classics take a little longer to read because of the way that it's written. But yeah, definitely going to be reading this year. Next is Breathe by James Nestor. This is a book that talks about the hidden science behind ancient breathing techniques. I'm personally a massive fan of Wim Hof, and I'm very interested in seeing what we're capable of achieving just through the tools that we were given at birth. And I really feel like this book is going to take me a little step closer towards unlocking my full potential. Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer Johnson. This book is only about 90 pages long. It's a very short read. My dad actually recommended me this book. It says an amazing way to deal with change in your work and life. And I'm currently going through a period where there's a lot of change in my life and a lot of uncertainty. And so I really feel like this book is going to bring me some kind of solace or some kind of clarity in that regard. Number 4 and 5 are The Road Less Traveled and The Road Less Traveled and Beyond by M. Scott Peck. So these books are about spiritual growth and finding your values and what means most to you in your life. These are some of the original, very popular books in the self-development, self-help sphere. But unlike books like The Secret, these ones are not bullshit. There's actually some really good content in these. I'm very excited to read these. I picked both of these up secondhand in the same bookstore, so it was a bit of a steal. Next is Marcus Aurelius' Meditations. You've probably all heard of this book. Yeah, this is a Penguin Classic edition. I can't remember who translated this. Okay, so this translation is by Martin Hammond. So what it is the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius was a man who had a very just life in a lot of ways, and he had a personal journal where he wrote about philosophy. He was very interested in Stoicism, and he hung around some of the most famous Stoics to date. And in this diary, he wrote about his personal dealings with suffering, with death, with life, with forgiveness, with all those kinds of topics. And it was never meant to be published. It was just a private journal. And I think when he passed away, one of his family members published it. And now it's become one of the most successful books in the philosophy sphere of all time. As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. This book explains that our character, identity, ability, and success is all determined by our mind and how we think. I'd agree with that to the most part, so I really think that this has got a lot of value in it. My dad actually recommended this book as well, and he's read this book dozens of times. Sometimes he would go for years of reading some every morning, and just when he finishes, going back to the start. So there must be a lot of value in this, and I want to unlock that for myself. The next is another book on Stoic ideas, and that is Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. So Ryan Holiday is one of the most prolific speakers on Stoicism that's currently alive. I'd highly recommend you checking his stuff out. He seems like a very down-to-earth person. He runs a bookstore actually as well. I'm not sure where it is, but if you check him out and you're nearby him, say hello. Personally, I'd love to go to one of his live events. I think that would be amazing. Or to get on his podcast one day, that would be an honor. But This book is a practical meditation on the nature and danger of ego. Obviously, ego is a part of us all, and so I really feel like understanding that more and being in control of it a bit more is going to be beneficial for everyone. So I'm very excited to read this book. And what a beautiful cover as well. Beautiful. The next book is a book I've kind of been scared to read for a while now. The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. So this book is about how we store trauma in our mind and our bodies and kind of how to release that trauma. I feel like this book would personally help me a lot. I've definitely got some things I'm still dealing with from within my childhood, and I really feel that this book might hold some answers to some questions I've been having and some suffering that I guess I've been going through in my journey in this world as a human being. A lot of people apparently cry when they read this book, so I'm interested to see if I do too. And last but not least is Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I butchered that name, but yeah, this is a book about a man who commits a double homicide. A double homicide? Or a double murder. This is a novel that's about a man who commits a double murder, and then his guilt, shame, and anxiety living with the fact that he committed this crime. Apparently it's a very, very hard read. It was written originally in Russian and then translated into English, so maybe that has something to do with it. But also the writing style of Fyodor is apparently very unique, and apparently he's a master at writing. I haven't read any of his books yet, but I do have Crime and Punishment, and over on my bookshelf I also have the Karamazov brothers. I probably butchered that too. This is a bit of a bigger one, but Crime and Punishment is his most popular work, so I want to start off with that. Yeah, I'm very excited to delve into his writing and to see what value I can get from that. Leave a comment down below on any books you're reading currently, books you plan to read this year, and any books that you would recommend for me to read, and maybe I might give a review of them also. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and ciao.